Your morning news now. China is ordering the United States to close its consulate in a western Chinese city over an ongoing diplomatic conflict. The order follows the U.S. closure of a Chinese consulate in Houston after Washington accused Chinese agents of stealing medical and other research. In what's becoming a reoccurring scene, protesters in Portland once again clashed with law enforcement on the streets overnight. A federal judge has blocked U.S. agents from arresting or using physical force against journalists and legal observers. Demonstrations have sparked confrontation between local officials and President Donald Trump over the limits of federal power. The judge's ruling comes one day after Portland's mayor was tear-gassed by agents outside a federal courthouse with the demonstrators. Governor Tony Evers is making it clear to President Trump he does not want federal agents in Wisconsin. In a letter to the president, Evers says he was deeply disturbed to hear White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows say that agents might travel to Milwaukee. Evers says he's strongly opposed to the move, warning it will only make things worse. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has signed a police accountability bill into law. It includes a ban on neck restraints like the one used on George Floyd before his death in Minneapolis. The bill also bans chokeholds and so-called warrior-style training, which critics say promotes excessive force. Officers will also get more training on dealing with people with mental health issues and autism.
Well, I've got alert days in place for tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow because of heat, upper 80s to around 90 for highs across the north, low 90s in the La Crosse area, and then upper 80s to low 90s down to the south. Heat indices could rise into the upper 90s to as hot as 105. And then storms late tomorrow night into Sunday, some of which could be strong, so a level 1 risk for severe weather.
The WIAA has voted to move the start date for some fall sports. High-risk sports, including football, soccer, and volleyball, will now start the week of September 7th. And low-risk sports, including girls golf, swimming, tennis, and boys and girls cross country, will start August 17th. The board also agreed that if schools cannot participate in the fall due to local health restrictions, then the WIAA would provide an option that would allow those schools to find games to play during the spring.
The timing for this event is not right. It's just not right with what's happened recently, the flare-up in Florida.
President Trump announced he's canceling the Jacksonville portion of the Republican National Convention set for next month. As Florida struggles with the virus for the nomination, the president said a meeting of delegates will be held as planned in Charlotte, North Carolina. The number of known coronavirus cases in the U.S. since the pandemic began has crossed the 4 million mark. Anti-mask supporters held a rally at the Dane County Department of Health Services building. Event organizers of the rally say they do not support wearing masks and are, quote, sick of their freedoms being infringed upon, end quote. They say health officials and county officials are abusing their power by having a mandatory mask mandate. Face coverings will be required for all MTU passengers in La Crosse starting August 3rd. The organization is reminding riders to maintain social distancing while waiting and while on buses. A bus pass or fare is not required on buses through the end of August. A new La Crosse park is nearing completion. Playground equipment and theater tunnels and sidewalks are being installed at the All Abilities Train Park on La Crosse's south side. The enclosed park gives children and adults with varying abilities an opportunity to explore and play in a safe environment. The park is set to be completed in the mid to late fall.
It's at a time when people need something to unite us, to give us something to think about other than what's going on in the world.
The Neowise comet, one of the brightest comets in decades, made its closest approach to Earth last night, but you may have another chance to catch it. The newly discovered comet is visible all month. You'll have the best chance to see it in the early hours before sunrise and later in the evening after sunset. The best way to view it in our area is by getting out of the city and traveling up to the bluffs.
Yeah, try to find the Big Dipper and then look just below it and to the left. About an hour and a half after sunset has been the best viewing times locally. Isolated showers over far northwestern Wisconsin this morning. We should stay dry with temperatures in the lower to middle 60s, rising into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. More humid as well, pushing heat indices into the 90 to 95 range. Again, hot, humid tomorrow, 93. Alert day for the heat. Alert day for some strong storm potential Saturday night into Sunday. Still pretty toasty Sunday with highs in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees.
All right, thanks a lot, Bill, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. We hope you have a great weekend. CBS This Morning follows us here.